This is the split stance Zercher posterior expansion drill. The purpose of this is to drive a little bit of rotation with loading to help open up the back, move the scapula away from the spine, and expand that section of the back with some air. So to set up for this, we need either a cable machine with a handle attachment like so, where we can loop it around the crease of the elbow, or we could use a band. Either one would work, as long as the resistance is not too much to where we can't manage it and it's going to pull us excessively forward. But generally speaking, we want it to be about, I'd say maybe a 3 to 4 out of 10 just in terms of how much it's pulling you forward. So we're now going to get in a split stance position as if we were going to do a split squat. So when we are on our toes in the back and our whole foot is flat in the front here. And we're going to keep our weight mostly in our heel on that front leg. Now, the most important thing here is we need to create a turn while keeping the elbow going forward. So, Trevor, what I'll have you do is first tuck your hips just very slightly, make your hips parallel with the floor as if they were a bowl of water, and then take that other hand, put it on your pec, and then you want to turn into it and push on that pec just a little bit. Now, here's the key. We gotta make sure that this arm is at about a 45 to 60-ish degree angle relative to our torso position, and that elbow is reaching forward while we turn into it. What people are probably going to want to do is they're going to want to lose some height in their skeleton. They're going to slouch excessively. We need to stay tall, tall, tall. So if we can stay tall and then turn into a little bit, keeping our elbow a little bit low, that's going to allow us to get that expansion between the shoulder blade and also the spine. You'll know you're doing it right when you have a stretch in this area right here where that inner edge of the shoulder blade sits on the rib cage. So now that we've got that stretch established, what we need to do is then breathe through it effectively. Now, you can keep that reach of the elbow forward and staying low there. We need to exhale until we feel our side abs on the same side. So a big open mouth sigh until we feel our side abs engage, especially on that same side. After you feel those side abs engage, pause, inhale through your nose, keeping that slight tension in your side abs. That's going to give you expansion and a stretch in that area you're already feeling between the shoulder blade and the spine. If you're doing that, then you're going to feel a good stretch, especially upon that inhalation, which is expanding that area, and it should feel pretty good. The most common mistake in this drill is that people will have the elbow go back as they turn into it, and then they're not going to get that stretch back here. So it's really, really important that they keep actively reaching that elbow down towards the ground as they turn into it. The other thing that's really important is that we need to make sure we have a tiny bit of flexion here without overly extending or flexing. So we need to make sure that we can get our ribs back without losing any height in our skeleton and also not extending through the low back. And the last thing is that people will overly crank their head to the side or hike up the shoulder, and it'll feel pretty awkward, it'll look pretty awkward. So we want to make sure that this is relaxed and we're just getting potentially just a little gentle head turn if we cue you to do so.